Joining us now, the former president of Ukraine, Petro-Poroshenko. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Russia says, give in or be destroyed. I know Ukraine and Zelensky, President Zelensky says no, but is there any middle ground to try and stop this brutality that is happening in Ukraine?
The only way how to stop the brutality in Ukraine is to stop Putin. This is crazy maniac who come here to kill Ukrainian just because he refused us with the right to exist, both Ukraine and Ukrainian. Can you imagine that for these 26 days already, they launched more than 50% of the modern Russian missile, including this night, because this is the zone of responsibility of my battalion. This is the Podol city. I don't give you the exact coordinate, but this is right in the eyes of our eyewitnesses. And the attack on the civilians throughout Ukraine, starting from Mariupol, Kharkiv, Sumy, Chernigov, and finishing with the Kiev suburb, Bucha, Gostomel, which is completely erased from the existence. There is no any more houses. There is only people and defenders who come there. And with this situation, definitely, I just want to make a statement. Ukraine is never give up. Kiev is never give up. I'm here from the first moment of war. I'm not leaving Kiev. Same like all my team. The same all the men who can keep the weapons in the hands. Definitely, can you imagine that more than 25% of Ukrainian is internally displaced person or refugees? 25%, every fourth person. This is in the 21st century in the center of Europe, and this is responsibility of Putin. We have thousands victims of civilian population killed. We have more than 100 children killed, innocent children. And Putin just think that he can keep situation going on. He refused from negotiation. At the same time, more than 15,000, this is the general staff data, more than 15,000 Russian soldiers left forever in Ukraine. More than 2,000 Russian tank and armed personnel carrier left forever in Ukraine. But Ukrainians do a miracle. Ukrainian people demonstrate a miracle of unity. And Ukrainians surprise the world, and we fight here, not only for our soil, but for the West. And my request, please help us to save you. This is very simple. And it is impossible to discuss days and weeks how to supply weapons in Ukraine. Soldiers need weapon now. This hour, not in 1 hour. And with this, I'm just returned back from Kiev region. We tried to keep Putin and Russian troops 25, 30 kilometers from Kiev for not reaching Kiev civilian object by artillery. And this is the 5 major steps. This is the road to peace. And step number 1 is definitely to introduce the new plan as a plan for supply to Ukraine from nutrition to ammunition. And this is the Land-Lease Act, but the version of 2022. Point number 2, this is the Close the Sky. Not by NATO missiles. We have a best pilot and best operator, but please give us everything from the kamikaze drone and finishing the anti-aircraft missile. Because we cannot give the airspace above the nuclear power station, above civilian object, to the Russian plane who bombing whole Ukrainian territory. Point number 3, this is the situation for the supply for us second West Front. And second West Front means everything but soldiers. We need more sanction. We need embargo for the whole Russian trade, because please stop financing Russia for killing Ukrainians. This is impossible. We need embargo on oil and gas of Russia. This is definitely need to be introduced now. Stop financing Putin. Stop financing killer. And point number 4, this is the new analog of Marshall Plan. Let it be Biden plan to demonstrate his leadership, and it is extremely actual now, because on the 24th of March this week, we will have a G7 summit, we will have a European Union summit, and we will have a NATO summit. And let it be Biden, Michelle, and Johnson. And the finishing is a European Union membership perspective, candidate status for Ukraine. This is Ukraine really has.
Mr. President, you've been speaking about the awful situation in Mariupol, the attacks that continue on civilians throughout the country. Is there anything that you would be prepared to give Russia in order to stop the killing at this stage in the war?
I think that NATO allies to reiterate basic principle of the world order for which we are fighting here in Ukraine. And principle 1 is that one country cannot change the border by another country by force, because this is the extremely dangerous precedent. And principle number 2, that one country cannot allow the dictator to make a veto right on the future for another country. NATO membership or any future for Ukrainian is just a question of Ukrainian people and members of the European Union. For example, today Putin wants Ukrainian Crimea on Donbass. Tomorrow he will want the Gottlieb Island from Sweden, or day after tomorrow they will want Alaska from United States, because he thinks that Alaska belongs to Russia. Let's not give any precedent to the mad dictator Putin, because if Putin grab Ukraine, he will not stop. Putin go as far as we allow them to go. And this is not a question of compromise. We together must to stop Putin here in Ukraine, and Ukrainian people are ready for that. Again, please help us to stop Putin here. This is the question for the whole Europe, or for the global security in the world.
Thank you so much. Former President of Ukraine, Petro-Poroshenko. Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.